Okay, let's talk about Hex.
Let's talk about Hex.
I heard it's a scam. I'm not sure. Richard Hart seems like a good guy. He seems like he's got great taste in fashion. Seems like he really cares about the financial system and the problems within the banking sector and the Fed. And he seems like he's designed a cryptocurrency that can fix this. I've heard this is a rumor.
Do you know there's a book called like the 48 Laws of Attraction?
I thought there was only 7.
Apparently there's 48.
Okay.
And in chapter 27 of this book, it outlines the steps that you undertake in order to form a cult. And it includes many particular things that are heavily ingrained with exactly how Hex operates. So for example, in the 48 Laws of Attraction, there's sort of a guy that talks about, well, you should require sacrifices from your community. And that's like a perfect mirroring to what Richard is doing with this Pulsechain.
Oh, because they have the sacrifice.
Yeah, they have sacrifice phases for Pulsechain, for PulseX. Actually, if you read the thing, it's almost letter by letter. And if you read the chapter, it's actually textbook what he's doing. And he has tweeted the name of this book. He says, I've read 5 books in my life or something like that. And these are the ones that I highly recommend.
I want to know what all 5 are.
Some of them is like, what's his name? Yuval, the Sapiens. The Sapiens book. And then another one is the 48 Laws of Attraction. I think that's the name of the book anyway. Okay. And this one is just how to create a cult. And
so are you saying, hold on, are you saying Hex is a cult?
I'm saying that this is one of the few books that Richard has read, and he has incorporated every element of a specific chapter in that book that mirrors exactly what he's doing with Hex.
What are the other parts of that chapter?
I can't bring it up from the top of my head.
Danny, can you find chapter 27 of the 48 Laws of Attraction? I mean, you're saying this might be a cult.
It is a cult. It is a cult.
Have you done any research into whether all the hexagons are real people or bots or what?
I'm pretty sure they are real people. I mean, many of them have YouTube stream. Like many of them are streamers. I've interacted with them in DMs. A bunch of them. They've invited me to, events and parties, and they show me pictures of when they're hunting in the forest. And they're like, "Hey, Eric, I'm," because they consider me their friend at this point. We've been hating on each other for such a long time that it's sort of turned into this thing. Well, at the end of the day, you are a person that I know pretty well, and you seem to understand some things in the crypto space. I want to sort of be your friend, and can you help me understand things that I don't understand in crypto?
So keep your enemies closer.
Chapter 27 is play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. And it provides examples from history of leaders who have used this tactic to gain power and control over their followers.
Did you just ask ChatGPT to find the answer for you?
I just said what's
That's
in chapter
fucking
27.
great. I mean, that's really cool.
This is one of the things that, I've tweeted a lot about everything about Hex, but this is the one thing that I've sort of kept. This is like my magnum opus of
Your
destroying
consistent
Richard.
thread.
This is the one thing that, if I actually pull out the information from that chapter, it would just expose the whole shtick, the whole scheme, in such a way that I'm sort of hesitant. Like, do I want to? Because this would be the end.
Well, do you have a duty to the world to do that? Do you feel a responsibility to protect people from this? Because as a journalist, I would say you do so.
I'm wondering if it will backfire.
In what way? More attention to him, or
I think
negative for you?
From the last couple of months, it's looking like he's already collapsing the whole thing on his own.
Okay. Can you ask ChatGPT about Richard Hart? Say, how did Richard Hart create the Hex cult?
I don't know if it has data that old.
It has until September 2021.
It says he's a controversial figure in cryptocurrency. No, it doesn't really say anything. Offered large rewards to early adopters, creating a sense of community, exactly what you said.
Cult.
Encouraging loyalty. Yeah, that's about it.
It seems so obvious to me from the outside that he's full of shit.
Interestingly, the last sentence is, ultimately, whether or not Hex can be considered a cult is a matter of debate. Even ChatGPT knows.
We didn't ask a cult, did we?
No, I said, oh yeah, no, I did. I fed it that.
So, okay. Do we know how much money he's made from it? Do we have ideas? Do we think it's millions, tens, or hundreds?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because of the fact that when you have an ICO running, you can recycle funds in and out. But from the Pulsechain sacrifice and the PulseX sacrifice, for those particular wallets, you can actually look on Etherscan, like how much money are in those wallets right now. And we're talking about like slightly less than $1 billion. There are $400 million in one of them and another like 300 million in another one. And then we have to think about, well, how much money did he make from the initial one, Hex?
And are those wallets essentially his and he owns that?
Oh, yeah.
ETH?
Oh, yeah.
So he is now.
And some of them are in stable coins also. So they're actually like stable coins for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
So he's either worth hundreds of millions or maybe a billionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive, even if it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a little story about Richard Hart? He tried to troll me and it was fucking brilliant what he did. I actually respect this. So when I was trying to buy Bedford Town Football Club, he reached out to them when he heard about it and tried to buy a sponsorship at the stadium and call it the Hex.com Stadium. So if I bought Bedford Town, I would have had to, because I would have been contractually obliged to have my team playing in the Hex.com Stadium. It was so funny. So that when we were in negotiations, the owner told me, he said, have you heard of a Richard Hart? I was like, yeah. Why? He said, well, he's offered us, it was a nominal amount. It was a small amount, to be honest. If he'd have offered more, he would have got it. He said, he's offered to sponsor the stadium and take the naming rights. I was like, that's funny.
That is funny.
That is funny. Okay. So when you say it's all collapsing, does it really matter to him? He's that fabulously wealthy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think that. Richard has said it himself that in terms of how much you can upgrade your lifestyle, there's diminishing returns. So he has the best stereo, like he has the best sound, he has the best TV, he has the best things. So how much happier is he gonna become from another 100 million? The thing that he cares about is the adoration from the people around him. Mm-hmm. He thinks that he is a god, and if he's unable to launch these projects that he's told everyone that he's trying to make successful, if he can't do that, then this entire cult that he's created is going to. It was actually close to happening a couple of months ago when the Hex price was in the gutter and the project that he had promised would launch years ago was still just causing delays after delays and excuses. That for him is like way more material than losing $100 million because it makes him understand that he is not, a god. He can't do the things that he thinks that he can do. So it diminishes him. It makes him feel smaller.
So it's becoming irrelevant.
It's just an ego thing at this point. I mean, he wants to become someone that is admired and someone that is omnipotent, omniscient, knows everything, knows when the peak of the Bitcoin price is, knows when the dip is. He wants people to follow him like a cult, because if you get a cult-like following, your powers go beyond what any ordinary person do, even beyond what a rich person do. A rich person that doesn't have a cult following is their life is way less interesting than a person who has, a cult who believes that what that person says is, a divine, derived from something holy. And that's sort of the thing that he's had, that there are actual people that think of him as a god.